Alright guys, we're going to get this started. Turn down and stop what you got playing. Welcome to the Scratch DJ Academy. We're really happy you guys are here. My name is Rob Principi. I am the founder of Scratch. I founded it with Jam Master Jay from Run DMC and Reggie Gaines, who wrote Bring the Noise, Bring the Funk. And we are here to help lower the barrier to entry for people interested in this art form. Because we found out that unfortunately the barrier to entry was really high. Turntables cost $1,500 and the demand to learn outweighed the supply of teachers. And turntables actually outsell guitars 2 to 1, making them the best-selling musical instrument. So we were amazed at the fact that this is the best-selling musical instrument, but there was no on-ramp to this art form. So we treat the turntable as an instrument, and we treat the DJ as a musician, which kind of gets into something else that I want to give you a quick heads up about. Is just as learning any instrument, it doesn't come easy and it doesn't come quickly. So it's not just putting records on. It's such a dynamic art form, and you guys are going to understand that. So my first caveat is to be patient, and you couldn't pick up a saxophone and learn it by playing once a week for 6 weeks. So we encourage you all to take advantage of Scratch as much as you want. Come here as often as you want. Practice, use the equipment. Utilize, our teaching resources and anything else, and the equipment as well. So our goal here is to help make you guys into DJs, and we define the DJ as anyone that controls the music. That means if you're in your car changing the radio station, you're the DJ. If you're at home changing CDs in your CD player, you're the DJ. So by definition, we're all DJs. A lot of people are intimidated about feeling that they're not a DJ because they're not an expert at what at this yet. But it's a developmental process, and you guys are beginning to take those first steps. So we're honored to have you guys here. You're going to learn a lot this semester. So 101 covers so many different things. So we're going to really give you guys all the ingredients that you're going to need to start to build your career or hobby DJing. And I encourage you all, like I said before, to ask questions, interact with everyone that's here, and enjoy it. It's going to be hard at times. Don't be intimidated. Have fun with it. So you're going to get to experience some amazing DJs this semester, lots of different personalities, some different teaching styles. You're going to cover lots of fundamentals, scratching and blending, and we're going to hit on some music theory. Enjoy it. You're going to have a great time. So let me quickly just give you a basic history of DJing, and then I'll shut up and we'll get started. The word DJ, the 2 letters, DJ, stand for disc jockey. And that term was coined in the 1940s and 50s when DJs were in the radio booths. And disc jockey literally means riding a record. They're jockeying records. That's what radio DJs used to do, was they would just put on one record after the other, and it was how the term DJ got coined. Then in the 60s, DJs started to move out of the radio booths and into the discos. And that's when, that was the flip for DJing, because that's when DJs became responsible for the live entertainment of a crowd, creating the environment, setting the tone, the ambiance. That was a pivotal time for this art form, because without that, it really wouldn't be where it is today. But along with that, there have been, several founding fathers of DJing, sort of as we know it. And one of them, his name is Kool Herc. Has anyone heard of Kool Herc? Some people? There you go. Good man. Kool Herc came from Jamaica, right? You know where in Jamaica? I don't. Probably Kingston. You know where in Jamaica? Kingston. Kingston. Okay, good call. He came from Jamaica, and what he did when he came over here is he realized that in the 60s they played disco music. In disco music, there was always a portion in the song called a break. The break was when the vocals would drop out and the instrumentals would climax. And it could be 5 seconds, it could be a minute, but the break is when he found out that people danced. That was the time in the song when people were really connecting to the music. So, and that's how the term breakdancing came, because people were dancing to the breaks. And what he would do was he did something called needle dropping, where he would take his needle, because they didn't have a mixer and 2 turntables at the time, and through visual cues and just knowing the record, he would, after a break was played, he'd pick up the needle and drop it back to the beginning point of where that break started. So he would just continue to play the breaks with this needle dropping method. Needle dropping, unfortunately, is a lost art form, because it's truly amazing how he was able to find the exact same groove and same space and to play the breaks. Then a DJ by the name of Grandmaster Flash came along, who is fortunately still around with us today. He DJs for the Chris Rock Show and a couple other, you probably heard of him, he's on Sirius Radio and stuff like that. He hooked up 2 turntables and a mixer came out, and he took doubles, which you guys all have. It's 2 copies of the same record, and he would put them on, and he would just go from break to break to break. So he would play a break on one record, move the crossfader, drop the second break, and just go back and forth, extending the breaks, just continually playing breaks. Unfortunately for them, they had to bring like 500 records, because breaks were only seconds long. Today, DJs have break records, they're called. And what you have here, partially, it's a break record. So then in 1980, well, I should back up. In the 70s, I think it was 76, I'm not sure, he'll have to correct me. There was a DJ by the name of Grand Wizard Theodore that did something really important for this art form. He created what we now know as the scratch. The scratch is basically rubbing the record back and forth, but it's sort of like the jump shot of DJing. Every DJ knows how to scratch, learns how to scratch, comes across scratching. It's an integral part of this art form. It's a lot of fun, and we were blessed to have it created. So in 1981, Herbie Hancock, who you guys might be familiar with, created jazz fusion, amazing musician. He won a Grammy for a song called Rocket, and he had a DJ named Grand Mixer DXT. And what Grand Mixer DXT did, he added scratches to the sound of the band. He became a member of Herbie Hancock's band. So when they played on the Grammys in '81 worldwide, it was an amazing time for the DJ, because previous to that, it was a South Bronx, Manhattan, Queens phenomenon, and no one had seen it outside of this area. So it was also inspiring for the next generation, because they knew what a guitar sounded like, they knew what drums sounded like, they knew what the keyboard sounded like, but the scratching sound, it was the first time they heard it, and it really worked. It was an amazing song. In 1983, a band came out by the name of Run DMC. Run DMC's DJ was Jam Master Jay. Jay was sort of the first DJ on international level to say, even though Grand Mixer DXT was a part of the band, I can be the band on my turntables. Everything a band can do, I can do, and I don't need to go to band practice. So he can recreate the percussion, the strings, vocals, anything that a band could do, he could do. And Run DMC always performed that way, where if you unplugged Jay's turntables, there was no music. So here we are, 21 years later, and the art form has continued to grow, and it's just at sort of an amazing point right now where DJs kind of are everywhere. They're in clothing stores and on Broadway and in commercials and everywhere. And music connects to everybody. So we're going to help you. What we say here is we're going to teach you how to paint. We don't care. Of course we care, but we don't really care what you paint. So we're going to give you the fundamentals that you're going to need to learn this art form. Whatever creativity and music styles and music interests that you have, you're going to bring that yourself. And that's where the individuality and creativity comes in. So I am going to shut up and let you guys get started. You have partners. It's kind of important, and feel free each week to switch partners, switch turntables. There's different mixers, get comfortable with different equipment. The reason is DJs normally have partners. Whether you see it or you don't when you're out, they always kind of learn from each other. A DJ's always learning. They're always learning new things. So if you're not on, doing your thing, you're watching your partner do his or her thing. So just work with that. And that's really it. I am going to introduce our 2 DJs we're very lucky to have tonight. First one, his name is DJ Damien.
Or Dame.
Or Dame. And Damien's one of our best DJs. We're always proud to have him teach here. He was on the Lollapalooza tour this past summer with Perry Farrell. He's an incredible house hip-hop DJ. He's also an incredible turntablist. So he's good at the scratching and beat juggling type of thing. And then we're also very honored to have one of these DJs that I just talked about before, the guy that invented the scratch, Grand Wizard Theodore.
I just bought this.
What I would recommend you do and move this back and forth. You see the start here. See the start of the scratch.
I noticed with your class, they're so incredibly diverse. That was also a goal, I imagine.
You know, that was an unexpected but extremely pleasant, it's not the right word, but wonderful byproduct. We didn't know who would come. You know, we figured we'd have DJ enthusiasts coming, but we didn't realize the broad and diverse demographic that would turn out. And we have blacks, we have whites, we have Asians, we have Latinos, we have blonde hair, we have purple hair, bald-headed guys, we have people with tattoos and piercings, and it all goes to show us and can just really confirm the validity of the concept that music touches people. And who listens to music? Well, everybody does. Blacks, whites, Asians, Latinos, you name it. And those are the people that are interested in expressing themselves on the turntables, because it is an excellent form of self-expression and individuality and creativity. And we found a lot of people want to do it as a profession, but a lot of people want to learn it as a hobby. And this is a perfect place for them to come and learn either way.
Okay, basically, I've been a DJ for like 27 years. It may not look like it, but I've been a DJ for 27 years. I wasn't as fortunate as you guys to have a place at the Scratch Academy, teach you the fundamentals. I pretty much had to like teach myself how to develop my own skills. One thing I always said about myself was to always trying to stay original. Don't try to sound like the next person, you know. Always trying to get your own personality, you know, because when it comes time to get a DJ job, you want to be able to stand out, right? So I'm just going to demonstrate some of the things that I've learned throughout the years. Bear with me because I'm an old man, all right?
This is not a pop album. And by the way, there it is.
Thank you.
Dave's going to say something in a minute, but we expect everyone to come back next week to know how to do that.